Bible Bee International. For $1 billion, we have our final 3 contestants. The kid with photographic memory, the kid who actually really loves God, and Mr. How Did He Make It This Far? Villager Officer, come on down. Please recite John 11:35.
Do it.
Jesus
Brilliant but lazy.
laughed? Incorrect. I love children. Next. I think we all had that something we did over the summer in our childhoods, whether it was camp or extra school or being dead. And Bible Bee was mine. If I had to describe it, I'd probably have to say it was like Hogwarts or Camp Half-Blood, but with all the pagan fantasy elements replaced with the Bible, and all the adventurous peerless elements replaced with the Bible, and stick swords I accidentally scored people with. More on that later. How I got into the Bible Bee was when I was about 8 years old. My mom had me and my family come to our living room, and she said there was this thing she wanted to know if we wanted to do. This led to several questions from us, where at first I didn't want to do Bible Bee, but then I'd ask if there'd be food, and once my mom said yes, I was sold.
So good and tasty?
But then Mom said I couldn't do it, like on account of she'd already marked my name off of the doing it list. I didn't realize she wasn't being serious, and for a while afterwards was sad. Fortunately, I later found out I was going and everything was in order. How it worked was, every family's kid would be sent memory passages, portions of the Bible to memorize, discovery journals, and shorts. I liked the memory passages the best because they were the most straightforward and easy to understand, along with the Greek and Hebrew words and the discovery journal. My least favorite part was the dreaded cross-references. At the end of the summer, we'd take a test, and the top 120 in each of the 3 age divisions would be allowed to go to nationals. More on that later. In many places where Bible Bee is done, there's a host family, who all the other families in the area visit once a week to make sure they're all on track, play the games, and make awkward conversation with. My host family's name was the Barclays, and they had lots of land to run around and get hard on. More on that later, along with some farm animals and fruit plants. After the husband of the Barkley family, Dave, had gone over what we were supposed to know for the week, we'd eat some food we brought, and then go and play. There were several games to choose from, the first which I'm going to be talking about being stick swords. More of an item than a game itself, I guess. We'd like to pretend that we were different factions, betray our side, go rogue, and so forth. Here are some of the main moments and events I remember. The first was when I was fighting one of the Barclays and hit him or stabbed him too hard. He was on the ground and I was really sorry and getting worried. Before his father Dave said in that same monotone professor voice he used to teach us with, "Oh, villager officer, this is why I said not to play with the swords right now." What? Thought I. We're not allowed to play with the swords? What are they doing out? How come I didn't hear of this? Why didn't anyone tell me? But I actually just answered with, "Oh my, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to," because all those things were also true. And the Barkley who I'd heard said, "Oh, that's okay," while still obviously being in a lot of pain. I'm sure he's not now plotting his revenge or something like that. Overall, it was a lesson learned and a mistake I never wanted to repeat, but I did. Sometime later, probably in a different year, I was playing with one of the older Barkley boys with a sort of wooden staff and stabbed him. He started picking out the wood from his hand and I apologized over and over again, to where he responded with, "That's okay, I think it's gonna score." But everything's fine now, and I'm sure he's not secretly plotting his revenge or anything like that. To keep myself out of trouble during these faction battles, I decided to just follow the youngest Barkley boy, Bill, who I called King Bill, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but I was his strongest and most valiant knight who fought for King Bill valiantly. I would have done anything for him. I would have died for him, just so that the world might not lose such a clever mind. "Okay, King Bill, they're coming after us. What do we do?" "You hold him off, I'm booking it." "What?" "It's okay, I'm not now plotting my revenge for his cowardice or any—" "Hey, Ow! My last story with the swords is when we were fighting as usual, and then someone said, "You have my sword," and then I said, "My bow," and then I ran off to go fight. Later on, my sister said she didn't hear me saying my bow, so then she said, "And my bow," and my axe, and then Frodo walked off with everyone's weapons. So it was almost a cool thing that happened. One thing we had to do in the sword games was run, but do you know what game we did where that was sort of the whole point? After the lesson of the week, there'd usually be at least 2 groups of freeze taggers, and I'd be like, "Oh cool, freeze, unfreeze, freeze, unfreeze, freeze, freeze you too, perfect." One time, one of the barkers got hurt while we were either playing this game or a ball one, and the others were like, "He'll be fine," even though he was crying. Maybe they aren't seeking revenge after all. Maybe they've forgotten about these horrible things I did to them. There was a net, 2 teams, and bloodshed. Maybe not that intense, but if you know, you know enough. I was never really good at this, and I don't recall people really liking it when I was on their team. Some people, clearly not thinking straight, because who does this, will just talk to each other without any playing at all. Why would they do this? What benefits did they perceive from this audacious waste of time? I don't know, but they do it anyway. So many times I saw kids going from playing games outside to just having conversations, standing still, forgetting how to live at all. So don't do that, people. Playing is the much better option. At the end, before we took the final test, we do this thing where we recite some of our verses and compete locally. I never lasted very long. No matter how hard I tried, I always lost. As a matter of fact, it always seemed like the other people there were always better than me, no matter what I did. I assume other people thought like this as well, but I never asked, and I've only ever been one person. Well, there I was, at the end of summer, I think, and ready to take the test. I mean, I thought I was ready. You see, I was terrible at cross-references, and they're like 40 or 60% of the test every year. So that's really what got me. I probably could have done better. I could have found ways to learn those cross-references, but I didn't. And now, it's too late for me. But while that does make me sad, I'm comforted by the knowledge that probably isn't all about going to nationals. It's always been about learning about God and making God known. And I did grow in that, so turns out, while I still could have done better, probably was worth it after all, with or without cross-references. And now I'm in trade school, so I'll probably make a video about that next. Please click here for my trip to a plant talk thing and comment below your own Bible stories. If I get enough, I'll make another one of these, just animating what you guys have to say.